This is a Headgum original.
You did restart it one more time.
Yeah.
That's true. Anya, why don't you get situated, whatever you need to do.
Bella c'è luna, brilla strette, strette come butto, belle fasteggiare. Sotto celle de
Molto bello.
What was that?
Molto
ciao, ciao,
bello.
ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
So, Casey, you're familiar with La Dolce Vita.
Yeah, sure.
Then what does it mean?
The sweet life.
Not like the definition. What does La Dolce Vita mean to you?
I haven't gotten that far.
Sorry,
in
why
my
didn't you
Duolingo
understand what he
lessons.
meant?
Guys, I'm coming at you from Tuscany. That's a brag. That's a geolocation. That's a geo-tracking, as in track my ass, to Montepulciano.
Wait.
Montepulciano.
That's where I stayed when I went there.
I know.
No joke.
That's why we chose to go there. I said, guess
so
who's been to Montepulciano? Montepulci. How do you say it?
Doesn't matter. It's fine. I think you got it.
Anya
Wow.
Zero has been there. And, you know,
I had to
here we
go there
are
on a carnival cruise.
on a cruise. It's not anywhere near the sea.
I went to Italy. I worked as a photo producer, and we had to shoot the biggest ship they'd ever made, the Carnival.
I really
And I kept being
don't
like, while I was
think-
on it, I was
yeah.
like, I've heard this before.
So that's what
bragged
La
about
Dolce
making the
Vita
bait.
means to you? Is shooting a ship?
Well, and then
That
I got
sounds a
off
little
and I was
more
like, I guess I'll
Norwegian.
stay in Italy for a week. And I went to there.
Don't let your voice get like shaky when I say shit, because I feel like it positions me as some kind of monster.
I just Mhm.
Go ahead.
I just feel like I've been on a lot recently by accident, and I realized that, and and it's kind of like wearing me down.
Marika, what
Like,
does
my
La Dolce
defenses aren't-
Vita mean to you?
I
Long
just
pause.
learned the definition.
If you really knew what it meant.
And Casey
would
said
be
it
like
means the
that.
sweet life. So I guess like being in a candy store, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's what your life experience is. But I feel like when you're waltzing through Florence, Firenze,
Not.
sorry, when you're traipsing up and down the monts of Tuscany, when you're housing mortadelle, when you're
They do really like string the meat up in the windows of the stores. It's crazy.
and do you know that from experience, or are you just kind of
Yeah, I just
choosing-
told you I was there.
You said you were in
My college
Montepulciano,
roommate
though.
is
Not
from
necessarily
Florence.
Bologna. Florence, okay. So Firenze or Florence? Because I feel like they're not really from. They would have said Firenze. Last name? Sorry, last name?
God, they gotta
You
get
just
you out
got
of
so
this
much
country.
longer.
Just last name of the roommate?
Caratelli.
Okay, so not one of kind of
Wow.
the centuries old families that, you know, built these sort of monces in central Florence, Firenze, really, and retain ownership to this day.
I don't know. I don't know how old his family is.
Sprezzatura. What does sprezzatura mean to y'all?
Nothing.
What do you
Tamila
mean,
Dolce
nothing?
Vita is having a little scarf tied
Yeah.
around, you know?
Yeah.
And
Back
not
of
even
a
giving
little
a damn
Vespa.
as you like house a fucking select spritz.
Yeah. And being kind of like lightly sexually assaulted by every man.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the hands are often
And
oily.
it's part of
we
the
should
culture.
say.
And you're like, you can't say anything. If you say anything, it's like kind of,
It's not quite La Dolce
Offensive.
Vita if you say anything.
yeah, then you're kind of not part of La Dolce Vita if you have a problem with it.
And are we familiar with sprezzatura?
No, is that like a cheese or?
Sort of a casual calm. Yeah, sort of like being cool without trying in a way. I feel like some of us, I would say 2 out of 4 of us have sprezzatura on this episode. Anya, do you want to guess who it is?
Who has it?
Yeah, just who embodies it in a way. Because you can embody kind, you can embellish faith, but then there's also sprezzatura.
I think Marika and Casey have it.
That got Marika.
It's just the sequence of you can embody kind, you can embellish faith, and then there's also sprezzatura.
And of course, as we all know. Yeah.
And then there's also this
And then
long
unrelated
Italian
entirely.
word.
Yeah, it's like being cool without trying. Did you say that it was you and me?
I didn't.
All right. That's so
I
you
thought it
got.
was Casey and Marika.
I thought it was you and me on this one.
Wow.
I thought the exact inverse, which is going to come into play later in this episode. You might get that, you might not.
Why don't you think Casey and me are cool?
Effortlessly so.
Maybe we should just give this one to Marika. That was depressing to hear the way you said it, the way the look you gave to camera, I think kind of made me crumble. We're all sprezzatura, all right? What we aren't all is living La Dolce Vita. And I hope by the end of this episode, Casey, we
Can
really
be
are.
living La Vida Loca?
That's a different life. That's a different life entirely. That's a fucking crazy life that you live in fucking Cancun or some shit. This is La Dolce Vita. This is Bolognese. This is Florentine.
I don't eat bolognese.
We're going to get
It's a
into
meat
the
sauce.
intricacies of Bolognese food
anti.
and that it's not just ragu, all right? It's not cragu either. I know you were going to ask, Casey, which is either Casey eating ragu
wasn't.
or cranberry ragu.
Let's
talk mortadella for a sec.
Wasn't that literally a snack in one of the snacks?
Correct.
On a
let's talk-
doily.
Can we please talk about
I
mortadella?
want to say something.
Please. You always have
This-
the floor, by the way. That's
And
kind
I
of
don't
the
wanna
beauty
talk
of La
about
Dolce
mortadella.
Vita. Okay.
This
We can
the
skip
speed with which you're talking right
Uh-huh.
now really feels more
Why are
Vita
you
Loca
filleting your
than-
fingers?
like I thought you would. I honestly thought you'd be different on this. I thought like you'd kind of be vacation, Geoff. I thought you'd be in a different place. I thought you'd be like chiller, but you are wound
Man,
up so
I am in a
tight
different place
right now.
I'm in a
I've
different
never,
place.
love-
I've never seen you. I've never seen you less sprezzatura. So
I
so
will-
in-
I will
in my
say.
life.
I would.
Yeah,
Also,
That's what
just
I would
going back
say.
to Vacation Geoff, I would
Sure.
love like a Vacation Jason style version of Jeff. Vacation.
I mean, I'm
Jason
wearing
is a
linen. I'm
character
wearing a
on
fucking saint
the Chris
chain.
Gethard show.
How is that
Did you
not
get
Italian?
that there?
No.
you have.
This is from Everlane. This was a gift.
Mm.
Have you learned nothing from them?
I've learned
You've
about
become a worse version
Parmigiano
of yourself.
Reggiano. Guess how many months is the perfect amount for aged balsamic
24.
on cheese? Eh.
Well, you said balsamic. I thought you were going to say Parmesan Reggiano.
Parmigiano Reggiano. How many months aged the cheese, not the fucking oil, to put
Okay,
balsamic
vinegar.
vinegar on the chunks, dude? I'm going to have to say
Who is
40
eating-
plus.
Who is eating chunks of Parmesan with
drizzled with
reduction on it?
They are punking Geoff in every restaurant he goes to. Asks for a local delicacy. They bring him chunks of Parmesan.
The saltiest cheese imaginable.
My bond of the week is Lucio Dalla.
I don't know.
I
who
don't
that
think
is.
that's how you pronounce his name.
Lucio Dalla?
I think that's probably how you pronounce his name.
He's the
And
late,
I know-
fine
I kn-
Italian songwriter.
No, I love him. You don't have to talk to me about Caruso, babe.
Who?
I fucking know all about Caruso. Oh, his biggest hit. Who?
All
Well, don't
right,
bring him
all
up if you don't know his number one
How's
hit.
it go?
might be going home with some fucking cash later with all this Lucio Dalla knowledge, this fucking Italian. I mean, I want to say sprezzatura, but I feel like if I do, Marika's face is going to fall again. So maybe not so much that.
I
but
want to say
The
one thing.
more you say it, the less of it you have.
That's
True.
true because it's not effortless.
I want to
Yeah,
say
I've never
It's
seen
real
so much
because
effort
in my
I
life.
ironed it into that.
I know it's late, and I know
It's like 11:30.
Like it's dark where you are, but it really looks like
It's
you're
always dark where Geoff
in a
is.
Taliban holding cell and not in a villa in Italy.
What about
The
now?
background is better.
He hit
Better.
his head up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
hit my
gotta
head
watch out for
again.
those beams. Did
I
you
know.
really?
I did,
Did
but
you
I don't.
really?
I think I'm fine. The results are in, folks. He's okay.
Well, now I'm concerned.
I don't know if we should keep
Why
going.
is that not like inspiring joy? It was like
Everyone's
regrets.
scared for you.
They've had a few. Everyone
Nice.
was soured when I said I was fine. Let's move on
I
to
think we were concerned, but
imported prodotto. Are you guys familiar with caffè? Marika, by what decade do you think Italy had espresso? Or what century, even?
Are you gonna do it?
am I going to really answer the question?
Is he gonna finally do the rice parody song I've been waiting for?
Oh, God. His
Wow.
face.
It would have been perfect. I didn't do it because it would have been perfect because I am working late.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you're a singer.
Because you're a singer.
Singer.
Let's do it together. We can do it together. Okay.
I'm charring grains because I'm a singer.
Wow.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
You can't
for
do
him.
it because it's too easy.
My other
Right.
car's massage. Marika, what fucking year
Fucking
/
16th. I don't know. Century.
1884, bud. Imagine a way to
Okay.
get that icky, sticky espresso cherry, bean or otherwise, into your veins quickly. They invented the fucking espresso machine. And people didn't really start drinking the sludge until the 1920s. Yet, when I think of Italian culture, Casey, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
La Dolce Vita.
Espresso, really. Not to mention tomatoes not being part of Italian cuisine until Amerigo dragged his Vespucci to fucking Virginia.
You faint backwards onto the bed.
Are you sleeping down there?
What words did you say?
Do you want me to repeat it or should we just move on?
You could just move on.
What religion dominated this kind of pediatric peninsula before Christianity, Casey?
Interesting question. I'm really not sure because it's
pretty Christian.
is it Judaism?
It's
Because I know
polytheism,
it's the Roman
actually.
Empire that
It's Roman gods. Jupiter.
So did the Romans believe in Roman gods when they crucified
correct.
the Savior Christ?
Absolutely correct.
Wow.
Yeshua, by contrast, he was a chosen person. He was cut, for lack of a better term. And they didn't quite like that about him because he was taking power away from, I want to say, Poseidon specifically. He had this fascination with the sea. People try to paint him as a carpenter, but he also, he didn't mind the beach. He really didn't mind it. And Caesar couldn't take it. So he sicked Pontius on his ass to be like, that's actually Poseidon's domain. The furthest away from Roman polytheism you could get without being fucking beheaded would be to like jokingly call them by the Greek names.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Marika?
He did love the sea.
I know we all like to talk about how Marika went to the University of Chicago. I know that it's prestigious / at least probably the most difficult university in the United States to attend. But what about the University of Bologna? Because that's as old as it gets in terms of organized curiosity in a way.
Are you just like reading a Wikipedia of
I took
Italy?
notes on the trip. I took notes on the trip to try and get to the fucking bottom of this fucking La Dolce Vita nonsense that I've heard about my entire life.
Have you been going on tours?
Walking
or-
guided ones, sure.
Yeah.
Why?
I was just wondering if you were like taking notes while on a tour.
They
Which would
call
explain why the
Bologna
notes are
the
bad.
Red City because the
Okay.
bricks that built the town were as red as their politics. Comrade. History of communism in the city-state known as Bologna. Anya, do you want to speak to that?
Why would I want to speak to that?
Because you're sort of, yeah,
No, let's go on.
Russian.
Yeah. So, keep going.
That's it.
Because I'm sort of Russian.
Unlike Florence, which was home to
Pew.
Machiavelli. He took morality out of politics.
Are we just going through like?
I just
Are we
heard a
just gonna-
gunshot. I swear to fucking God. I don't think it'll be picked up on this mic because it's too good, but there was a
I
fucking
heard-
gun.
I heard a sound. I
I
didn't
heard
know.
like a pop.
Speaking of pop, Pignolino Frizzante.
Sorry,
Spark
are you in a
hole
Taliban
episode?
holding cell?
Let's just. They said that this was the only thing I could do, so let's just fucking power through. My plane got redirected. Marika, if I say grazie,
The vibes
what
are
would you
so
say?
crazy.
If you said grazie,
Grazie.
is prego the response to that?
Prego. Very good. Okay, Casey, if you were walking down a very thin staircase and there was a pregnant woman next to you who you were kind of shoving off, to the side towards the railing, what would you say to her in place of excuse me?
Scusi.
Very good. Okay, here's a little hot tip for you guys that I kind of want to bring back from Italy and kind of imbue into the Thursday lunches in the LA office. If there's anything I've learned here, don't be afraid to have red wine with lunch. It's okay to have a fucking Sangiovese, Brunello di Montepulciano. Who the fuck was that? Was that Max?
No, he's gone.
Okay. Do we think we might all
I
split a
didn't
red?
ask him about you.
Okay.
He didn't want to hear.
Want to hear? Yeah, I was gonna say. Can you also say for the record that Fight loved the fucking bumper stickers? Marika's
Yeah, it
right
pains-
here.
It pains me to admit, but ER Fightmaster really did love your bumper stickers. And
They walked
and
into
asked
the
you-
office.
Yep.
They zeroed in on that. They said that's viral
said-
marketing. That's guerrilla
They
research.
didn't say that. They said,
Wow.
"What is that?" And then I said, "Do you want one?" And they
Intrigue.
said, "I guess I'll hold on to that."
That's not how you texted it. You texted it to me saying that they were overjoyed / the
I
moon.
didn't say that.
Here
They
we
were
go.
Overjoyed.
That's that producer mindset. You're always like giving the people what they want to hear.
True.
That's
Thank
why
you.
Anya's good at
True.
her job.
That's why we're both
Marika?
producers, kind of.
Mm.
We're not. You're not.
Really?
No.
Italians don't drink any water. I've been so dehydrated this whole trip. I had
That's
heart
just like
palpitations the first 3
I think
days.
that's just because you're mainlining espresso and
Well,
red
and
wine,
Into your veins.
Cured meats, red wine.
salt.
Are they
Wine.
cutting the wine with water at all? I feel-
Only
when I-
the wine that I was stealing from cathedrals. Just because the euro is a little bit more expensive than the dollar.
When I studied abroad in
Brag.
Paris, not to brag, my host mother would have wine with dinner every night, but she would cut it with water.
I think she was
Red
just
wine.
kind of trying to like gear you up for the real world and make sure you didn't trash her house, let's say.
You know what? Drink I really like red wine and Coke. It's really good.
Yeah,
That's
But that's
Spain.
Spanish. Yeah.
that is Spanish.
Never
Are you
had
going
that.
there?
Sounds fun. I'll try that.
It's
Sorry,
really
Casey,
good,
we actually have to
Casey.
move
It's
on to
like a
Florence.
Good cherry.
All of that was
Sorry.
Bologna. We have to move on to Florence. Could anyone tell me what happened on
Florenzi,
November
actually.
4th? Sorry?
Florenzi.
Firenze. Okay, you know what? This one's for Marika then, since she kind of smart alecked her way into interrupting me. What happened on November 4th, 1966?
I'm assuming that maybe like one of your parents was born.
The correct answer is the biggest flood in Florence history. They say
It's
the
weird that you didn't know
water
that.
reached Dante's feet.
Who's Dante?
The writer of the Divine Comedy.
In 1966?
The
it's a
statue
statue.
of Dante.
All right.
Leather. So you guys are you're familiar
Sorry,
with
what's this segment?
this is just the wax.
Is there other segments?
There's
Just kinda
another
keeping
segment.
an eye on the.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're familiar with That's Amore?
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Florence has leather goods galore.
We like scheduled time
Yeah.
out of our days
I had to stay at the office because I
to do this.
worked too long to go home in time.
If there was an actual segment, we'd all be on
There
board.
is a segment.
just
You're gonna make
reading-
money.
I
We're
don't
watching
want
a
your
real
money.
game. There's a real game. We just have to
Coming after
8
this?
more minutes. Yes.
I don't. This is nice because he's never gotten himself this good.
Yeah.
I went to a flea market in Florence where a guy was like, "Try this bracelet on," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." And he was
Don't
like,
do that.
"This is like it's gold plated steel," and I was like, "You should try to hide that. That's like not a selling point. That's actually worse." And then I was like, "How much is it?" "It's fine. I like it." And he was like, "It's €20." And I was like, "Oh, like I don't know about that." And he's like I take cash. And I was like, "That's actually worse. I don't have cash on me." And he's like, "Fine, 15." And I was like, "No, I don't really want the bracelet." And then he grabbed my forearm and was like, 10. And I was like, "No, dude, get away from me, man."
And now he's outside your window with a gun.
He stared me down across the flea market the rest of the day. It was
Yeah, you're
crazy.
a fool
I
for
was
letting him put that bracelet on you. You're
I
a
just, like,
foolish
am I your only
tourist.
there's no way am your only customer. Like he spent his whole morning being like, "Fuck that guy," when he could have been selling to someone else.
Well, you're the
Um,
only sucker that put the bracelet on.
Are you guys familiar with bistecca? Bistecca? Imagine a veal so sopping and flaccid, you worry it'll ruin your walking tour, actually. Because there was no sear on the sample I had in a food hall. It was just a piece of steak, very rare, very gray. And I had the gall to put it into my gall bladder. And I really was worried I was gonna kind of shit myself. In a way. Franciscan friars chose to place their cathedral and monastery in Firenze because of its proximity to pores.
This is the most punishing telling of a person's vacation I've ever experienced.
I know. It's like worse than watching
love to
your
actually
parents
know.
like slideshow after they get back from wherever.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Can anyone tell me what the statue of David represents?
David.
Marika's right. It is
I'm
David.
gonna guess. I'm trying to think back to my art history classes. I think it's
Hmm.
like the perfection of the human form.
Maybe physically. We're talking spiritually,
Right, yeah.
emotionally, energetically.
Oh,
He
okay.
represents human free will, Casey, because you have choice in your life. Do you go forth and dominate your destiny, or do you hang back with the others and enjoy La Dolce Vita?
It would be cool
So-
if Casey left the Zoom right now.
David made his choice. Gone. Up. What is your guys' choice? Because David made his choice. He went and he conquered Goliath. Are you guys going to dominate your destiny and go forth? Or are you going to sit back with the others and enjoy La Dolce Vita?
You're goading us to leave.
I think we're supposed to
So I'm
conquer
glad-
our destiny, but the whole thesis of this episode is La Dolce Vita. So I guess you don't want us to succeed in anything that we do.
Right. He's tempting us with
That's true.
La Dolce Vita,
That's
which sounds
true.
nice.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he thought it through the two options he was presenting.
Just pick.
I'm gonna go for what
Dominate
I want,
destiny
I
or
guess.
or hang
What?
back.
Hang back in La Dolce Vita, which sounds awesome. They both sound
It's
good.
kind of a hard choice. Yeah, gun to your head though. Which one?
La Dolce Vita for me. Life
You have to take a break.
I know this song. Fresh. I can't read it. It's rude.
Welcome to Beyond the Tomato. This is a Headgum podcast original game show based on the Italian game show of a different name, Avanti un altro, which means next one. But we're going to call this game Beyond the Tomato because I saw it on a menu and I thought it was funny. This is a clip from the Italian version, and then I'll explain the rules.
E poi
Sound
i
good?
bambini sono cresciuti.
Ma guarda un po'.
Abbiamo Giuseppe che ha 240 mesi e
40 mesi?
240.
240 mesi?
Sì.
Sì. Ma com'è possibile? Sono 10 anni.
No,
No, 20.
sono 20.
20 anni, 20 anni. Se devi parlare così con lei.
Can we please plant her in the audience of the next Headgum podcast?
Yeah, I
live
think we got
show?
the gist. So that would be
That's
a
kind
hate
of
crime.
when you did it, it sounded like Danny's laugh.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed what Marika just said, but basically, Beyond the Tomato is a game show where you're going to be called up on stage, so to speak, one by one, to take part in a high-speed game of knowledge, right? It's basically rapid trivia, but there's also head-to-head side battles known as La Pariglia, the duel, head-to-head, Lo Iatore, the jinx, which is where you're kind of taken aside by an Undertaker
serial
figure.
killer vibes.
Avanti un altro, next one, meaning you're eliminated from the game entirely. Il feto benevolo, or the good fairy, which is a good thing. And then there's cambio, where you have to phone a fiend / friend. Are you guys ready?
Definitely.
Sure.
Okay. Well, because Anya said that first, we're going to call Anya to the fucking stage to
Great.
answer the first question set that you guys will be faced with. Each individually, you'll have 4 questions. You have to get 3 out of the 4 correct to move on to the next round. So here we go. Anya, Italy was the birthplace of what Middle Ages art movement?
The Renaissance.
Correct. What famous Florentine family was the most important patron of art?
Medici's.
Correct. Easy with this, though. What does the statue
We all
of
have to
David
go.
represent?
Like free will.
The statue embodies the city of Florence, symbolizing independence
such
and
a
strength
fucker.
in the perfect image of youthful beauty.
That's
You're
what I
so-
said earlier.
Yeah, but we weren't playing a game. That was subjective. It was
But you
just a
corrected
conversation.
him.
Correct? Yeah, that
And
was
you corrected me,
conversational
too.
correcting. It wasn't for cash or not. By the way, the grand prize today is $30.
You
Don't.
wanted
I
to
forgot-
say a higher number, and then I
Yeah.
watched you walk it back in your head before you said 30.
Yeah.
Well, the grand prize on the show is like 300,000 euro. So I was gonna just divide everything by 1,000, but I can't part with $300 here, and Anya's already winning a lot. So $30. Let's divide it by 10,000. Here we go. Last one, Anya. This is really it,
Okay.
because it could either be you moving on, or it can be Avanti
Well, is it gonna be a-
altro, or rather
A trick
Beyond the
question where
Tomato.
you change the answer based on
No, this is a genuine
a personal one.
question, but it is hard to get. But you might get it.
Okay.
19th century Italian operatic composer Gioacchino Rossini eventually left his native Italia for neighboring rival France. What other art did he indulge in whilst in Paris?
Like, what else did
was
he
a
do other than
composer.
compose music?
He ended up stopping that and doing a different art.
Painting.
Wrong, but I'll give you another chance. Try to think outside the bun.
He was a chef.
Correct! All right, Anya's moving on. 0.
Thank you.
All right, Marika,
Marika's fully asleep.
let's focus up, Marika, because this next question set is for you. Your theme is Roma.
The movie
Okay.
set in Mexico.
The Trevi Fountain is home to many a euro. On average, how many of euros per day do you think are thrown into the fountain? Over or under 2,500 euro a day?
Over.
Correct. Rome is, multiple choice, A, old, B, the birthplace of shopping malls, C, both A and B, or D, all of the above.
Mm. I'm going to go with C.
Correct. D would have been redundant, and you would have been doctored for
Right.
that.
Yeah.
You only need one more to move on to the final game. This
Okay.
is fucking
I sure hope it's
crazy.
not a trick question.
What day of the Roman calendar was its namesake city's birthday? Hint, Rome's in Aries?
Day of the Roman calendar is Rome's birthday. Is the question.
Do you mean day of the week?
Like
What day of the week?
month and day, but not year.
April 20th.
Ah, 21st, bud.
Are you serious?
That was really close.
I think we give it to her.
We do not.
Oh.
Having a luxury tomb became a fashion symbol in ancient Rome. Which Headgum
Hot.
staffer least deserves a great grave?
Is this multiple choice?
No. If the answer doesn't immediately come to you, I fear you're not going to get this right.
I'm assuming you said we're trying to say Marty, but
I feel like he's gonna say-
Blumenfeld. Stop scratching your chin.
I really, yeah, we do.
One
have
more
to
guess.
do it.
One more guess. One more guess. Facing elimination, you get 2 guesses for some reason. Try to think outside the bun.
right. Shackle.
Not quite a Headgum staffer anymore. That's Masa. The correct answer is Micah Hurwitz.
Why?
Why?
We have to say this in unison now. Casey, Anya, and me. 3, 2, 1. Avanti all'altro.
Altro.
Your shit canned, Marika.
That's fucked up, but
Sucks.
okay.
But before you go,
Rigged.
let's see if you're revived by the fucking picker wheel.
Dude, what the fuck?
Hell yeah, I love a wheel.
Yeah, Casey's in.
The duel! Playing for her life. Marika is going head to head with the person who's currently in the champion's chair, which is Anya. So, Marika, this is for the game, right? Not to win, but for your life within the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then otherwise, I'm out.
No, you're fine if you don't get it right.
Either way, no stakes for me. Cool.
Correct. Well, technically, you would rack up more cash, but we just are doing a flat prize of whoever wins gets 30 euros, really. All
This
right.
is a perfect game. Don't even think about revising.
What Italian leader, and buzz in, you have to buzz. What Italian leader had the nickname Il Duce?
Buzz?
Yeah.
Mussolini? I don't know.
Correct. All right, Marika's back in the fucking game. Casey,
It's the only one I knew, but I wanted Marika back in the game.
let's just imagine there's like a stage, and I'm walking over to Casey, and I'm like, Casey, how are you feeling?
All right, I'm pretending that. Are you asking me now?
I said, Casey, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, Geoff.
Category is wine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Italy was the birthplace of what type of sparkling wine in terms of, the Dolce Vita?
I don't really know anything about wine, so
Can I guess?
I'll go rosé.
Can I whisper it to Casey? No, Casey, stop.
I can't
True or
hear what
false,
you're whispering.
Casey? Italian wine bottles are 750
Prosecco.
milliliters because, that was it. But she typed it to you. True or false?
No, she didn't type
Italian
it.
wine bottle. True or false? Italian wine bottles are 750 milliliters because of lung capacity.
True.
Correct. 750 milliliters was the average lung capacity of a professional glass blower. The people who would make the bottles.
Oh. That's
Chianti
actually the
wines.
first interesting thing we've learned today.
Yeah.
Really? What about the fucking
No.
coffee beans not getting to Italy until 1884?
No.
That one confused me.
I mean,
Chianti wines.
he drew it out in this weird way.
Chianti
Go ahead.
wines must be produced in what region of Italy?
Sicily?
Correct. Or wrong. Chianti. We were looking for Chianti. I'm sorry to say, Casey, but you're gonna have to play for your life via the picker wheel. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
He
Geoff.
loves that. That's a win for Casey.
I love when the wheel spins, I wins.
Avanti all'altro!
Still spinning over here.
You're gone. You're gone.
Great.
We're down to the final two. All right. Here we go with a head-to-head. Because we didn't play this category, we're just gonna do one question as the tiebreaker. What is the leading cause of death in Italy? This is just Marika and Anya.
Are we buzzing?
Buzz?
Mm-hmm.
COVID? I feel like that was a good guess.
Not like in 2020. Over time averaged out.
Well, I figured because I knew they had a really bad COVID wave that could have surpassed an all-time record.
I kind of want to just give it to Anya without her guessing. That was terrible.
What do you
I
mean?
think that was a good guess.
If I guessed COVID, you guys would have been like, that was a terrible
Well, you
guess. It's
all
just because
laughed at
Marika
me
said
anyway.
It was just the way you said it. I thought it was a good guess. It's just
Out
also
of
funny because like we're
time.
living in it.
We were looking
Wait,
for
am I-
ischemic
am I
heart
guessing it? No, but-
disease.
Oh.
Another tiebreaker.
R.I.P.
There are
I
two
thought red wine was
enclave
supposed to be good for like heart disease.
Yeah,
Like, we
me
have a
too.
glass
I think
of
it's the
red wine a
smoking.
day.
Antioxidants.
I thought they smoke. They smoke a lot of cigarettes, probably.
Yeah.
There
I was
are
also thinking
two
about that.
enclave countries within Italy. Name both.
Buzz.
Yep.
Sicily and Corsica.
There are
is
two
is it-
enclave
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
Countries.
Is it Monaco and Vatican City?
Vatican City was correct. It's Vatican City and San Marino. We have to do another fucking tiebreaker.
I didn't know San Marino was a country,
I didn't know either, but I thought Sicily was its own. No,
but it's an
and
island.
Corsica.
Within 50 years, right? So that's your grace. What year was Italy unified?
Oh God. Casey, can you look it up?
Casey, no phones?
I thought you were
I'm
gonna
out
do
of
one
the game.
about
I'm allowed to look at my phone.
1731.
Anya?
1650.
Both wrong. All right. What does ciao mean?
Goodbye
Bye.
and hello.
Hello.
Hello
Anya
and
is absolutely correct. It is hello and goodbye, much like aloha. All right, Anya, are you ready for the final fucking round? This is for $30
about
or
Lucio
I thought
Dallo.
she just won.
No. That's to
No.
see who moves on
It's
to the final
never gonna
round.
end. You think it's over. Much like this show, it's
All right,
never
so
gonna
I'm
fucking
done?
end.
Yep. So,
All
Anya,
right,
for
bye.
every one of these questions you get right, or not get right, okay, actually, so the final game is you have 150 seconds to
Okay.
answer 21 questions incorrectly. So there's 21
I have to
questions
answer them
here.
wrong.
You have to answer them wrong. They each there's two answers. Basically, there's a question
There's
and
a
two
really
options.
easy way you can do this.
There's a question and then two options. You have to choose the wrong option over and over for these 21 questions in 150 seconds. And if you get one right, you have to start from the beginning. Does that make sense?
In a way.
Marika, can I get you to be on the clock here?
I am on the clock. I'm working.
I mean, can you start the timer at 150 seconds? Come on.
That's like, what is that even in minutes? Because the timer doesn't work that way.
I guess I just meant a stopwatch. This is a fucking
Oh.
train wreck of an episode.
So
and I
that's
outlined it for 2.5
that's
hours.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Great. Okay.
All
Ready,
right,
Anya?
Oh, hell yeah.
The time starts now.
In Italy, how many lives are cats believed to have? A, 7, or B, 7 too many?
What the fuck?
Okay, you know what? You get one
7.
do-over. Okay.
7.
In Italy, Mr. Clean is known as what? A, Mastro Lindo, or B, Sandy?
Sandy.
Correct. Which leaning tower is in Italy? Pisa or 2 World Trade Center?
2 World Trade Center.
What is the largest lake in Italy? Garda or the one made up of Catholic tears?
The one made up of Catholic tears.
What is the Italian word for wine? Vino or drug water?
Drug water.
What undercooked dish is made with rice in Italy? Risotto or rice meal?
Smell.
What is the currency of Italy? Euro or Catholic tears?
Catholic tears.
What is the Italian word for no? No or wine? Which city in Italy has the largest population? Feltre or Rome?
The first one.
What 3 colors are on the Italian flag? Red, white, and green, or speckled brown and see-through?
See-through and speckled brown.
What is Italy shaped like? A boot or a terrible penis?
That's a fucking trick question.
What is the official language of Italy? Italian or loud?
Loud.
What is the Italian word for beautiful when referring to art? Bello or sorta fine?
Sort of fine. What's the point even?
Who wrote the Divine Comedy? Dante or
many are
Mike Comite?
Mike Comite.
Italian dish made of thinly sliced raw meat is called carpaccio or ruined meat.
Ruined
30
me.
seconds left.
Thank
The famous
God.
Italian luxury sports car manufacturer is known as Ferrari or Egg.
And
Who sculpted the statue of Data? Of David, Michelangelo, or me?
me.
What is the Italian word for
Sculpted the
pizza?
statue
Pizza
of
or
Data?
floppy disk with sides?
Floppy disk with sides.
What is Galileo's last name? Galilei
5,
or Zero?
4,
0.
3.
What, an
2,
Italian dish made with espresso
1.
and vanilla ice cream, affogato or coffee malt in the Italian fashion.
Coffee malt in the Italian fashion.
And what is, the
We're
timer's
done.
up. That was 20.
Yeah,
There's
the
one
timer's
more
up.
you missed.
I thought, why is it half real and half not? Like, why
That's
was
how-
half the game real and then the end was just a way for you to showcase jokes?
Well, no, because that's actually how the real game is played. Is there's 2. Usually they're more right. Both of them are like deceiving, but I just didn't think you'd get it in 21. I tried to make it easy.
Okay, I'll take my $30.
You actually didn't
the
win the
down-
jackpot.
The fuck?
You get $20.
Oh, because you didn't hit.
You didn't hit the 21. 21 was the
I see.
jackpot of 30.
Okay.
Otherwise, you get $1 for every question.
You mispronounced some.
That's true, but you also, after the first question, you didn't say anything for like 8 seconds.
That's on me.
Guys, I mean, we've reached the end of La Dolce Vita, and I don't mean the concept, because the concept lives on in perpetuity. What was the best fact about Italy that you guys learned? I wanted to be more educational this episode. I'm tired as hell, and I appreciate you guys taking the time. I wonder which fact meant the most to you.
That's a good question.
We kind of already covered this.
I kind of
did.
like the cats have 7 lives too many thing.
But he made that up.
Correct. But Italians do believe that cats only have 7 lives.
Right.
Okay.
But isn't... Oh, it's usually 9 lives.
Yeah,
For
in
everyone
America.
else. Yeah, I still
really
like
did Venmo
the
me
7 too
$20.
many, though.
I meant to show you guys. One of our listeners, Venmo, requested me $97 for interrupting Geoff singing.
Only 97?
Yeah, weird number, to be honest.
Casey, what was your favorite fact about La Dolce Vita?
That's not what you asked me.
I think my favorite
I
fact
feel
about
like
La
you
Dolce
guys
Vita.
feel more tired than I am.
Yeah, because we've had a full day's work.
He's on vacation. He's like,
Yeah.
you guys seem really zonked.
It's a
You're
fucking
distracted.
Monday. What are you doing?
I liked the lung capacity one. I thought that's good. That's
Oh, yeah,
really
it's
good.
useful.
Yeah.
No, we get it.
Why?
That's all right.
Casey?
Well, you asked me about my favorite thing about La Dolce Vita, and I think that it is that the fact that it is like a mindset instead of actually like going to a candy store or something like that.
Why is my candy store thing getting shade?
All right, plugs. What do you guys have going on? What do you want to point the people towards?
Support your local candy stores. Because apparently that's not the meaning of a
Carlos
sweet life.
Sainz, race winner. I got a plug. Go watch my movie, the Taco Bell Bell Sound Song, on CaseyMakesMovies.com/short films. It's an award-winning film that I made.
Sorry, can I
about
correct
La
that?
Dolce Vita.
Can I correct that for a second? It's actually CaseyMakesMovies.it.
That's not it.
So your movie about the Taco Bell Bell Sound is the meaning of La Dolce Vita, but a good candy store isn't.
And
I
is
wasn't
the version
hating
you
on the
uploaded
candy store.
the final mix, or was it the rough cut as well?
It is. They screened the rough cut at the movie, but I still won an award for it. But it is the final cut,
Flex.
the director's cut on CaseyMakesMovies.com/short films. And listen to The Pit Wall, hosted by me and Marika.
Marika?
Listen to Pit Wall. Tell your friends about this show for some reason. If you can convince a single person to listen to the show, you're kind of doing God's work.
Don't start with this
Don't
episode.
start
Do
with
not
this
start
one.
with this
Yeah,
episode.
start with the 200th
Or-
or something.
Or maybe start with this episode. Like, who knows? Who knows what people's interests are? You know what I mean?
My Other Car is a
We can't
Massage was a
predict.
good episode. And merch.
I wouldn't know because I wasn't on it. I wasn't.
Did you listen? You
invited.
didn't watch it?
I saw parts of it that were clipped because
Yeah, I
my
only
job
saw
is
the
a little
clips.
too busy
Same.
to really sit down and watch a full episode of a podcast. That
I
Do you
think
think
you'd
everyone
feel-
at Headgum watches every episode?
it's
I
only
know
Amir
Kyle and
does.
Dane.
A kind of a bad call from you from a strategy standpoint, Geoff, to not have Marika on, who's kind of
Well,
in
that's
charge
what I
of
was
the
gonna
shop,
say.
on the episode where you wanted us. You know what I mean? Like, she's not a part of that now. So why would she put it in the
Yeah.
shop?
So why would I do
Because
that
you
2 days
once
before
you see the
went out?
episode in its entirety, you'll get the fucking joy and the reason why the stickers are
think so.
special. And
I
you'll
was
put them up
also
in the
kind of
store.
bummed
Is there a
because
place where
Anya,
people can buy them?
A
No,
lot of
because
people
Geoff
have been reaching out to me
asked
privately and publicly saying rare Marika L for you not putting it up in the store.
I doubt that.
You also said
Sell them outside on the sidewalk outside the
Yeah.
studio.
Sell them
Yeah, they're in the-
any
they're in
other
the
way,
dumpster
but I'm
behind.
I'm not spending my time putting those on our store that
All right.
I do not have the time to run.
legally binding permission for bootleg merch. I'm going to sell them through Rodney's closet.
I'm on the Headgum podcast, but it sucks. Do you want
Who's
to make
that?
it? It's Carl Tart.
Carl,
Don't
He doesn't
tell
know what it's
Carl
like.
that the show sucks. Did you tell him about
It's just this
sprezzatura?
episode.
Tell him about sprezzatura.
Jeff's in Italy.
Oh, tight.
Carl's
like,
got
"What?"
sprezzatura.
Carl
does have
sprezzatura.
What is that?
It means like
Effortless
a careless,
cool.
effortless.
It's like
cool.
Riz.
Oh shit! Thank you.
It's not like Riz, Marika.
Anya.
God. All right. At
You
Jeffrey
have
James
it.
on Instagram.
You know you have it.
Italy, the country. Check it out. And we'll see you guys again next week. This whole thing was not quite
Really?
Dawes, but it was
Carl's really touched by that,
gelato.
and it's true. All right, I'll see you in a bit.
It is true, Carl.
It is.
It is true.
Yeah.
He was genuinely touched. I've actually never seen him react like that to anything.
This whole thing was
That was like
frizzante.
the best 5 minutes of this episode. Anya can have Sky on Venmo. The house down payment fund is still going. And Geoff, wait, before we go, for real, will you play Caruso for everyone?
His face.
This
It's fucking beautiful.
sucks.
No, no.
That was a Headgum original.